Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the healing powers of God. Oh yeah, it's real and it happened to me. So today I'm going to share a testimony with y'all. Alright, here it goes. So a while back I had a car accident and I hit a tree and steering wheel it got my chest pretty good, airbag deployed, but it still bruised my chest. And so I went to the hospital, of course, and got a CT scan done of my chest. Well, they found out that I had an aneurysm in my heart, right above my heart. And it was the top side, the aorta. So I was told that I need to go see a cardiologist, and so I got set up with cardiology. And he ran all these tests on me, and I was working too. I was welding, and well, these extra tests revealed 3 leaking heart valves. My mitral valve was leaking, and then I had 2 other leaking valves in my heart. Well, I was scared at this point, and I had to do a lot of working, a lot of heavy lifting. And I was told not to do heavy lifting, so I stopped doing heavy lifting because it could possibly had burst if I overdid it or whatever. So I just freaked out for I don't know, at least a year and a half about this, because it was only at 4.5 centimeters, right? And at 5.5 centimeters, that's when it needs surgery. Imagine like a garden hose, and then it kind of blows up, on the soft spot. It just gets kind of bigger than the rest of the hose. But eventually, it blows up, and all the water leaks out. Well, that's basically what happens with an aneurysm. Anywhere in your body, you can have an abdominal aneurysm, or you can have an aortic aneurysm above your heart. So, with all this stress mounting on me, I just went to a different hospital for a scan to see the progression of this, to see, get a second opinion. And, I was stressed out, and I told them my concerns, and, I told them I couldn't work, couldn't hardly sleep, just worried, sick, and so I got the CT scan set up at the new hospital on a Monday. They was nice enough to do that for me within, I think, 7 days or something. And that Sunday I went to church, and I don't really go to church a lot, but I do sometimes. Well, then I went that Sunday, and I just went through the service, and I worshiped God, and I finished the service. Well, before the service was all the way over, my great aunt grabbed my hand and pulled me up to the front. And it's a Pentecostal church, so you know how they are. They put hands on you and speak in tongues and that type of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the next thing I know, I'm being drugged up there, and the preacher is putting his hand on my forehead, and several other people up there is putting their hands all on me, and they're praying over me. And mind you, I didn't even tell my great aunt. I didn't tell her what was wrong. I guess she felt something was wrong with me. Well, began to feel the Holy Spirit, and I felt light as a feather. I felt comfort and peace and joy and bliss, and I had chills all over my body. It was a pretty good experience. I enjoyed it. I felt cleansed. Anyway, the next day was my CT scan, and I come into the hospital. And I got that done, and I had to wait a couple of days on the results. And I finally got a call, and the doctor called me and said, "There's nothing wrong with your heart." I said, "Do what?" "I don't think I heard you correctly." He says, "Yeah, we're not finding anything wrong with your heart. It's completely normal." I said, "Well, no leaking heart valves or no aneurysm or anything?" And he says, "Your heart is perfectly normal." And I was like, holy cow. God must have blessed me. Thank you so much. Got off the phone with him. And to this day, I'm grateful. But this is actually the first time I've shared this testimony. And I think it's my duty to share this testimony with others, to let people know that God is real and Jesus is very real and He can heal. It's all in His timing and according to His purpose. That's what it has to do with. He works for those, that work according to his purpose. So just never stop believing, and stay prayed up, as much as you can. It does help. I wouldn't never say that I'm perfect. None of us are. We all fall short before the glory of God. But just know there is a spiritual battle going on behind the scenes, and the closer to God you are, you're more able to see that and feel that, and you have a general understanding around you of what's going on. The Lord brings you insight and clarity. So anyway, I just thought I would come on here and share that testimony with you guys. And I hope y'all have a blessed day. See you on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right. Bye-bye.